the dawn of September 1st, 1939. No declaration of war, no formal warning, just the thunder of explosions as Germany launched a full-scale invasion along its entire border with Poland. In the port of Gdańsk, the German battleship Schleswig-Holstein unleashed a furious artillery barrage on the Polish military depot at West. This act of aggression has become the symbolic, brutal opening of the Second World War. From the very first moments, Polish soldiers, though facing overwhelming odds, fought back with astonishing heroism. In the north, German armored columns smashed through the Pomor's army in the Tucholskie forest and then bore down on the Modlin army. Despite initial Polish successes near Mława, the sheer weight of the German advance was relentless. Yet, even in the face of this onslaught, there were moments of incredible Polish triumph. On the Western Front, near the village of Mokra, the WWII cavalry brigade achieved a stunning local victory. They bravely charged and repelled a German armored division, inflicting heavy losses and proving that the Polish spirit would not be easily broken. In the southwest, however, the story was different. German forces quickly pushed back the Krakow army, capturing the industrial heartland of Silesia within the first few days. As they advanced, they crossed the Carpathian mountains, overcoming the thinly spread Polish defenders in the region. But as the regular Polish army was forced to withdraw from Silesia, a new kind of resistance emerged. Local self-defense units, made up of proud Silesian insurgents and scouts, rose up to defend their homes. These men, the true salt of the Black Earth, fought fiercely for their cities, including Kiev and Chorzow, adding a chapter of civilian bravery to the unfolding tragedy. The Germans' success was built on two pillars: absolute superiority in numbers and equipment, and a revolutionary new tactic called Blitzkrieg, or lightning war. Fast-moving armored formations targeted the weak points between Polish armies, punching through and threatening to encircle them. Polish units were forced into a constant retreat, their movements often harassed from above by the German Luftwaffe, which enjoyed complete and terrifying air supremacy. As Polish armies fought desperately to fall back to new defensive lines along the Narew, Vistula, and San rivers, a major blow fell in the region of Kielce. The Prussian army, a crucial reserve force, was shattered. A significant part of the blame fell on its commander, General Stefan Db Bernatsky, who had tragically underestimated the enemy's speed and power. This defeat accelerated the general retreat. Amidst the chaos, the civilian government fled Warsaw, first heading east, then south. The commander-in-chief, Marcel Edward Mig-Uritz, and his staff followed. With communication lines breaking down, he found himself increasingly isolated, unable to effectively command the armies fighting for the nation's survival. On September 8th, the unthinkable happened. German armored and infantry units reached the outskirts of Warsaw. They launched an attack on the Ochota district, expecting a quick victory. They were wrong. Polish soldiers, bolstered by thousands of determined civilians, met them with incredible dedication and sacrifice. The first assault on the capital was repelled. While the battle for Warsaw raged, one of the most significant engagements of the entire campaign was unfolding to the west. General Tadeusz Kutzewa, commanding the Pasynag army, saw an opportunity. His forces, largely untouched by the fighting so far, were joined by remnants of the Pomor's army. On September 9th, near the Bzura River, he launched a massive counterattack against the exposed northern flank of the German army advancing on Warsaw. Initially, the Battle of the Bzura was a stunning success. The Polish attack caught the Germans completely by surprise, throwing their advance into disarray. For a few brief, hopeful days, it seemed the tide might turn, but the Germans reacted with ruthless efficiency. They swiftly diverted troops from other fronts, encircling Kutaziba's forces. What followed was days of brutal, heavy fighting. The battle claimed the lives of 3 Polish generals: Stanis August-Mackatnicki, Franciszek W.A.D., and Miko Arbo. By mid-September, despite their initial success and unbelievable courage, the Pasynag army was defeated. Only a few scattered units managed to break through the German encirclement and fight their way to the besieged city of Warsaw. While the land war raged, the defenders of the Polish coastline were completely cut off, fighting their own isolated, desperate battles. On the very first day of the war, German forces stormed the Polish post office in Gut. The postal workers, who had been given military training just weeks earlier, held off charge after charge all day. They only surrendered after the Germans brought in flamethrowers and set the building ablaze. Nearby, the small garrison at the Westerplatte military depot was writing its own legend. Under the command of Major Henryk Saharsky, they fought off the initial German assaults. Saharsky, following his orders to hold out for just 12 hours, but his second-in-command, Captain Franciszek Dąbrowski, and other officers passionately protested they would fight on. And fight they did. For 7 days, the Polish soldiers at Westerplatte endured a living hell. They were attacked from land, shelled relentlessly by the battleship Schleswig-Holstein from the sea, and bombed by dive bombers from the air. Their heroic defense became a powerful symbol of resistance, inspiring the entire nation. They held their ground until September 7th, when, with no hope of relief and supplies exhausted, they finally surrendered. The Polish Navy was effectively neutralized in the first days of the war. In the port of Hell, German air power sank the destroyer Witcher and the Navy's largest vessel, the minelayer Gryf. But one ship would achieve legendary status. The submarine, Ode Piors, the pride of the Polish fleet, was interned in a neutral Estonian port. In a daring move, her crew overpowered their guards, broke out of the harbor, and escaped into the Baltic Sea. With no navigational charts, they navigated by the stars and, incredibly, made their way to Great Britain in October, ready to continue the fight. Back on the coast, the defense of Gdynia was led by Lieutenant Colonel Stanisław Debek. After losing Poland's largest port, his men were pushed into a small, shrinking pocket of land at Oksy. They fought off relentless German attacks, with their backs literally to the sea. On September 19th, the Germans finally broke through their lines at a place called Bobby Dole. Colonel Debek, a man who refused to surrender, took his own life rather than be captured. After his death, the Hel Peninsula remained the last pocket of Polish resistance on the entire coastline, a lonely bastion holding out against the tide. The unequal struggle continued. Thanks for watching. If you found this history compelling, please like this video and subscribe for more stories of courage and conflict. We'll see you in the next one.